and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the CD Racoola Show. Right meow for all you cats and kittens out there. We will be taking a look at the 1992 film Sleepwalkers. I love 90s horror. I do a lot of 90s horror films on this channel, so take this time to go ahead and subscribe. Just do it, baby! Press the button. You can do it. I believe in you. This film was written by none other than one of my all-time goats of horror, Mr. Stephen King. Stephen King also makes a little cameo appearance in the film, as he often does. As what else but the cemetery caretaker. Right in the beginning of this movie, they give you a pretty good explanation of what the creatures in this story are and kind of what this whole thing is about. So right away, you get the idea of the story, and I'm not really mad about that. We don't always need to have this great M. Night Shyamalan twist that we have to try to figure out the whole time. Sometimes we just want to sit back and enjoy a horror-filled thrill ride, you know, without all the thinking. Sometimes all this thinking hurts my little old rotted brain. So by definition, here's what it says, and I'll put the shot from the film up so you guys can follow along out there in YouTube land if you haven't seen it yet. Sleepwalkers are nomadic shape-shifting creatures with both human and feline origins, vulnerable to the deadly scratch of the cat. The sleepwalker feeds upon the life force of virginal human females, probably the source of the vampire legend. This is from the Chillicothe Encyclopedia of Arcane Knowledge, 1st edition, 1884. So there you have it. If you're an avid reader and horror book collector, as I am, you immediately went to the internet machine to search for this mystical Chillicothe Encyclopedia of Arcane Knowledge. My search ended up in vain, as I couldn't find the encyclopedia. Maybe some of you out there in YouTube land, if anyone is listening, can point this old Vampy in the right direction, so I can add it to my nice little collection I have. But I think old Stephen King, in all honesty, probably just made it up. But maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Love to have it if it exists. It was interesting in this film that the pair were energy vampires. If you guys have ever read the novel or seen the film Dr. Sleep, or seen Joe Hill's Nosferatu television show or read his novel, those are also energy vampires. Well, I guess they take in steam, but that's basically an energy vampire. The mother of the pair of werecats, or whatever they are, mentioned that she knew there were other energy vampires out there. So maybe that's where the crossover happened. Stephen King likes to do that. He likes to put other novels and ideas into current books. I don't know, but when I think of energy vampires who suck the life force out of the living to keep themselves young and vital, I think of the character Colin Robinson from the hit television show What We Do in the Shadows. Though he is far from as sinister or as scary as this pair of mother and son, he definitely drains people dry with his boring conversation and his attempts at humor. Great show, What We Do in the Shadows. Even us vampires likey that show. Speaking of this mom and son creature duo in the film Sleepwalkers, they went under fake identities of Charles and Mary Brady, the Brady Bunch. Kind of a weird Brady Bunch. Yeah, maybe not as weird as the actual Brady Bunch. Mary and Charles kind of have a weird little dynamic, don't they? They get uncomfortably close with one another, if you know what I mean. It's kind of weird, to say the least, of their relationship, but whatever, we will table that one for a while, because their romantic stuff is a little too out there, even for me. So the whole point of this film is the pair of energy vampires slash werecats, Charles and Mary, move from town to town, and the son goes out and finds and seduces virgins so that he can bring them home to mommy, and they can suck the essence right out of them, essentially leaving their victims lifeless husks of their former selves, as we saw in the beginning of this film. They are deathly afraid of cats, and the cats are the real heroes of the film. Go, kitties, go! It's funny because the mommy and her son, they really resemble cats. And it even says in the beginning, in that little arcane knowledge thing, that there's some kind of feline origins. But animals are said to be able to sense evil. And in this Sleepwalkers film, the cats are a testament to that. And beware, because a big fat spoiler is coming here. But the ending scene where the cats all mob the transformed werecat Mother Mary, whom was seriously ticked off after her son Charles was basically killed, is ripped apart by the cats, turning her into a giant ball of flame. Kind of a neat ending. The film did end quickly, though, didn't it? I really thought the son was still going to be alive at the end, and we would see him maybe driving off into the sunset in that blue Trans Am of his, set to invade the next town. But alas, it did end in a nice little package. Boo hiss. I did like this film a lot, though, other than the disappointment at the generally happy ending. I mean, I'm a bad guy, remember? So I really like it when the bad guy wins at the end. Ron Perlman was a policeman in this film, and kind of a jerk, if I'm being honest. He was kind of a jerk. I kind of forgot he was in the film. Madchen Amick starred in the film as Tanya Robertson, the young lady whom Charles and his mother were trying to snack on, but old Tanya was having none of that. Brian Krause starred as Charles the good boy, who turned out to be a very bad were-kitty. Charles' mummy, Mary, was played by Alice Creech, whom I found out was the Borg Queen in Star Trek. Pretty awesome look there. She is a scream queen for sure, and was in the film Gretel and Hansel as the Witchy Pooh. She was also in the 2022 film Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I did a review of that Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, so feel free to take out your chainsaw and cut that episode of the CD Racoola Show all to ribbons. Alex Krieg had one of the best scenes of the movie to me, when she stabbed a guy in the back with an ear of corn, of all things. I mean, she killed the guy with corn and said something to the tune of, you better eat all your veggies or something. Oh boy, that was so cheesy, yet so darn good. Another great and epic scene in this film is when the officer and owner of Clovis, the heroic kitty cat, is chasing down Charles, and Charles changes his face multiple times while looking over at him. That scene is what a lot of people think of when they think back on this movie, Sleepwalkers. For whatever reason, that scene just sticks out to people, and it stuck out to me. It was just funky enough, and was really the point at which you were like, whoa, these creatures have some weird powers, including the power to dim and stay invisible or whatever. That's not really fair, if you ask me. I'm a real vampire, and I can't turn invisible. It would really come in handy, let me tell you that. All in all, this show is a classic. This movie, rather, is a classic, and it is for that reason that I'm going to give it some decent marks on the old scarometer. I mean, it was written by Stephen King. You act like I even had a choice in the matter. I would like to take this time to close up shop on this episode and ask that you wake up if you're sleepwalking and claw with your little paws that subscribe button, so you can get more horror and most certainly more of me. Me. It's all about me. All about old CD, baby. Please join me next episode as I go about chopping down the film Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Old Abe. So till next time, my little human blood bags, be sure that you remain ever so vigilant around your neighbors that are deathly afraid of cats. They may be plotting on you. Meow. Ta-ta. Ta-ta.